Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea, how to cut through all the noise of modern life and find some real clarity. And we're going to do it by tapping into a source of wisdom that, believe it or not, you already have. It's your future self.
So, does this sound familiar to you? You're facing some decision, could be big, could be small, and you just feel stuck. You're completely drowning in a sea of pros and cons, opinions, and endless what-ifs. It's a feeling we all know really, really well, and as we're about to see, there's a very good reason for it.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the problem. What is all this modern noise? Then we'll uncover this hidden superpower we all have to cut right through it. After that, we'll introduce you to your wisest advisor, learn a super simple exercise to tap into their wisdom, and finally, figure out how to bring all that clarity into our everyday lives.
Okay, first up, drowning in modern noise. Let's really dig into why it feels almost impossible sometimes to just hear yourself think.
I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. Picture your mind in its natural state, like a perfectly calm, crystal clear lake. You can see straight to the bottom, no problem. But modern life? Well, that's like a whole fleet of speedboats just constantly zipping across the surface, churning up mud and sediment until the water is so murky you can't see a thing. And what are those speedboats exactly? Oh, you know them. It's the constant pinging of emails and social media alerts. It's the 24/7 breaking news cycle. It's the weight of what everyone else expects from you. And let's be honest, it's our own habit of researching every little thing into the ground. It all adds up to this thing called analysis paralysis, where we're so overloaded we just freeze. So if our minds are just being flooded with noise, how do we find the actual signal? Well, the answer lies in something we all have, but we've kind of been taught to ignore it. It's our inner supercomputer. You might call it your gut feeling, but it is not magic. It is an incredibly powerful processing tool.
The supercomputer operates through a process that psychologists call thin slicing. And what that means is it's your brain's amazing ability to find patterns and make these lightning-fast judgments based on just a tiny, tiny sliver of experience. So that gut feeling you get about a person or situation, yeah, that's your brain thin slicing a whole lifetime of data in a split second.
To put it really simply, your gut feeling is the fastest supercomputer you will ever own. Seriously, it's processing thousands of data points, memories, little cues, observations you didn't even know you made, all at incredible speed. The problem is, we've been taught to trust a spreadsheet more than our own internal hardware. So how do we finally quiet down those speedboats and start listening to that supercomputer? This brings us to the real heart of it all, meeting your 100-year-old self. This, right here, is the ultimate perspective shift.
Let's use a little metaphor to break this down. Right now, your current self, you're standing at the base of a huge mountain. All you can see is the steep, difficult path right in front of you. Every loose rock, every time you stumble, it feels like a total catastrophe. But your 100-year-old self, they're already at the summit. They can see the entire journey, all the twists and turns, the valleys, the hard parts. They know that every single detour had a purpose, and that rock you're tripping on right now is just one tiny step on a much, much bigger, beautiful climb.
And here is the most important part. Let's be super clear about this. We are not making up a fictional character here. This wise, calm, all-knowing person, that's not a stranger. It is the deepest part of you, the part that's already whole and clear. You're just accessing its wisdom through the clarifying filter of time.
Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But how do we actually do it? Let's get really practical here in Section 4, the time travel exercise. This is your how-to guide.
It's really just a simple 3-step process. First, find a quiet moment, close your eyes, and just visualize your life as a long path. And at the very end of it, you see your future self, just full of peace and wisdom. Second, you start a dialogue. Ask them a specific question about a real problem you're wrestling with. And third, you just reflect. You write down whatever came to you without judging it. The answer might not be a full sentence. It could just be a feeling of calm or maybe a single word like patience.
So, this little exercise isn't just a one-time party trick. It's actually a tool for building a more intentional life. Let's look at how we can weave this practice into our actual daily routines.
So how can you use this every day? Well, before you make a big decision, take what we'll call a decision-making pause. Just quickly ask, from that mountaintop view, will this really matter in the grand scheme? When you're feeling stressed, use it as a stress reducer. Just visualizing their calm presence can instantly ground you. Or try a morning ritual. Just ask them for a single word to guide your day. Maybe it's courage, maybe it's listen.
And remember, the goal here isn't to live a perfect, mistake-free life. That's impossible. No, it's about having the clarity and the courage to walk your own authentic path. It's about shifting from a life where you're just reacting to everything to a life of conscious, deliberate action that's guided by your own true north.
So I guess the only question left to ask is this. If you could have that conversation right here, right now, what would your 100-year-old self tell you today? Because that answer, it's already there, just waiting for you to get quiet enough to listen.